What's going on, guys? Hit Squad here again, back at it with another video. In this video, I want to do a little bit of a game preview and some keys to success on how the Giants can win this game against the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, if you watched my last video, I did predict the Giants winning this game 24-17, which wasn't easy for me to do. Let me make that crystal clear. That was not easy for me to do, considering that the Giants have not beaten the Eagles in recent time. But I do think that the Giants can win this game. I think that they will win this game. But I want to go a little bit more in depth as to why I think that they will win this game. Before I do that, I want to encourage everybody to like, comment, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. As you guys know, it really does help out the channel. We're building something great here. You guys can come and join in on the conversation. We're almost at 300 subscribers, so that's very exciting. Let's get into the rest of this video, though. Now, let's start with the injury report for the Eagles, right? This is a completely different Eagles team that we will be playing. The first time we played them, they had a lot of injuries across the board, which is why I thought the Giants should have won that game. But we didn't. It's in the past. We should have won that game. But now they're getting a lot more players back that can actually help the Philadelphia Eagles if they were to make a push, in my opinion. Now let's look at the players that will be active for the game. So these are just some of the players that were on the injury report that will be active for the Philadelphia Eagles game. Fletcher Cox, Jack Driscoll, Nate Herbig, Malik Jackson, Lane Johnson, Jason Peters, Miles Sanders, Alshon Jeffrey, Cre'Von LeBlanc. Now, the last time we played them, they had a lot of injuries, especially on the offensive line. I know Lane Johnson was kind of in and out of the lineup due to the injury. However, they still played fairly decent, but we were able to get to Carson Wentz. Now, Jason Peters, while he is an old player in this league, when he's healthy, he's a solid left tackle, considering that their left tackle is out for the year. Lane Johnson is still pretty solid. Even when he's a little bit injured, he still plays solid for them. He plays hard for them. I tip my cap off to him. Now, considering that Miles Sanders is back, and this is no shade to Miles Sanders, I get more scared if I see Boston Scott on the field. You guys know that Boston Scott is a Giants killer, man. I mean, every time he steps on the field, I gotta wonder where he is because he always finds a way to tear up this defense. No matter how good or bad this defense is, he finds ways to tear it up. And you know what? It is what it is, right? Miles Sanders, he's a good running back. He is. He's a dual threat running back. He catches the ball out the backfield. He can run the ball fairly well. Now, how is he going to be coming off of this injury? I don't know, but that's still a player that the Giants have to note down to stop. Because if you can't stop Miles Sanders, you're not going to be able to stop the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, Travis Fulgham has been the Eagles' #1 wide receiver for the most part of the year. Jalen Reagor really hasn't done anything. Alshon Jeffrey's been absent, but considering that he'll be active in this game, I know they're going to probably try to get Alshon Jeffrey more acclimated into the lineup. I can see him being used as a red zone target, maybe stretch the field a little bit, but he is getting up there in age. He's been dealing with a lot of injuries, so I don't know how he's going to play. I'm not sure if they're going to go to Travis Fulgham more and Dallas Goedert. Considering, which I forgot to mention, Zach Ertz is out. He will not be playing in this game. Dallas Goedert, for me, is a good tight end, but he plays better as the #2 tight end. He puts up better numbers as on the #2 tight end when you go look at it, compared to being a #1 tight end. So I expect Jabril Peppers to really cover Dallas Goedert. You've been seeing that in recent weeks. He's been taking out, for the most part, the tight ends of the opposing team. So I would expect pretty much Jabril Peppers to shadow Dallas Goedert for the most of the game. Now, Cre'Von LeBlanc, he's an okay corner, but for Philly, he's done pretty well. Their secondary is mad questionable outside of Darius Slay, who's been pretty solid for them, and pretty much shut down Darius Slayton when we played them a couple weeks back. But Cre'Von LeBlanc is definitely an upgrade of what they had on the field prior to his injury. Now with the Giants, we got Devontae Freeman. He's going to be out with an ankle injury. As you guys know, he's been put on the injury. He's been put on IR. Golden Tate, he's questionable, but I don't think he's going to play due to his knee injury. We don't know how serious that is, but I do think that will give players like Austin Mack and Dante Pettis more time on the field, which I don't really see Golden Tate having a future with the Giants. I could definitely see those two players and Dante Pettis and Austin Mack having a future possibly with this team. So why not see the talent that you have on this roster? Now, my biggest concern is although Isaac Yiadom is not good by any means, with him possibly being out, that definitely draws a giant question mark on the number two position for the quarterbacks. I don't think Ryan Lewis will be active in this game, and if he's not active in this game, that's definitely going to be a problem for us. I'm not worried about James Bradberry, but I am definitely worried about a quarterback number two position because it was already a giant question mark when Isaac Yiadom was healthy on the field and Ryan Lewis was on the field. It's always been a question mark this whole year. But with him being out, it's a bigger question mark to me. Now, how the Giants can win this game, right? Well, there's 5 keys in my honest opinion. First one being play 60 minutes. Don't play 40. Don't play 50, 59. Play 60 minutes of football and don't beat yourself. 3 out of the last 4 games that the Giants have played against the Eagles have been very close matchups. I do think this will be a close matchup, even though I have them winning 24-17. The Giants do tend to beat themselves. When you look at the game that we played a couple weeks ago against Philly, the Giants beat themselves. When you look at last year when we had Eli in the lineup and he was throwing those dimes to Darius Slayton, the Giants beat themselves. That game should have never went into overtime and have Zach Ertz score the game-winning touchdown. Should have never happened, but it did. And I don't think that this will happen again, at least this year against the Philadelphia Eagles. I think the Giants will be technically sound. I think that the Giants will be on their P's and Q's to prove a point. There's a possibility they can take this division if they win this game, but I'm not banking on it. I want to take it game by game. But yes, key 1, don't beat yourself. Play 60 minutes of football. Key 2, Daniel Jones cannot turn the ball over. Last week was his second career game where he didn't turn the ball over. Now, he's not going to have a lot of games like that, but I would expect him to at least have 1 or 2 more games like that this year, hopefully. But DJ can't have a game like he had against Tampa. He needs to have a better game. He needs to play better. While last week he didn't do, in my honest opinion, he didn't do great. He did fairly solid. You know, his, for me, biggest play of the game was him holding on to that ball when he got pretty much just blindsided by the cornerback coming off the edge. But DJ cannot turn the ball over. He needs to play better for us because if we lose this game and and Daniel Jones is throwing some picks, you're going to hear a lot more fans clamoring at the fact that we could possibly get a quarterback in this draft. There's going to be some good quarterbacks in this draft, but DJ, you know, he can't. He can't have a game like he had against Tampa. I know that he's trying to do the most. I know that he's trying to win these games, but he has to play smart, and he has to really protect the Duke. 3, establish the 1-2 punch with Wayne Gallman and Alfred Morris. Now, with Devontae Freeman being out with the ankle injury, Wayne Gallman and Alfred Morris have been playing fairly solid. You looked at Alfred Morris last week. He was doing good. He was running hard. Wayne Gallman was running hard. This offensive line is growing, and that's what I like about this team. This team is growing as a whole. You've seen that week in and week out. They're improving. They're growing. This offensive line is coming together. We got some young players on this team. We're the second youngest roster in the league. So why not establish that 1-2 punch with Gallman and Alfred Morris? It's been working. Let's keep it running. Let's drop some plays where we could get both of them in this game. Now, number 4. The defense has to be on their P's and Q's. Now, obviously, that's obvious, right? Obviously, that's obvious. Whatever. It's obvious that the defense has to be on their P's and Q's. They're going to have more targets, Philly, to throw the ball around, especially since Miles Sanders can catch the ball out the backfield. And the Giants have to be aware of that. They didn't really have that issue with Philly a couple weeks ago, and this is definitely something that they're going to have to address. Now, I have noticed that when there's better talent on the field, the Giants tend to play a little bit better. But at the same time, again, there will be more threats on this offense for the Giants to really worry about compared to when they played them the last time. Alshon Jeffrey, while he is coming off an injury, is still a red zone target. Miles Sanders, like I said, could catch the ball out the backfield. He's also really good at running the ball. So the Giants up front had to be prepared to stop Miles Sanders and really Boston Scott as well, because I'm sure that they're going to rotate the two. Now, this is going to be my last key, which I pretty much just said. Stop Miles Sanders. If you let Miles Sanders take off, he will take off, man. I've seen way too many games with the Eagles where if Miles Sanders is not being stopped, he ends up having a big game. And that could be very crucial. That could be really what will really help the Eagles, and that could actually help the Eagles win this game if Miles Sanders plays good. Now, this will be a battle between Carson Wentz and DJ. They haven't been playing too good this year. Their stats are relatively close to each other. And it's really going to come down to that. If you're asking me, despite the keys I just listed, what is it going to come down to? It's going to come down to Carson Wentz and Daniel Jones. Who is going to be able to play better? Now, if I was a fan looking from the outside in, if I wasn't a fan of either team, and I was looking on the outside in, I would expect Carson Wentz to play better just because he has more experience. However, I do think that with the Giants having a better offensive line, and it looks like they're developing chemistry, and it looks like this team is different, right? I'm not the only one seeing that. This team is looking like it's built differently. And you can definitely see the hard work and dedication that the Joe Judge crew has been establishing here. And it makes me really excited to see. Even if we don't do anything this year, it makes me excited to see what we could do in the years to come. Um, I think that the Giants may have an edge in this game. I think that with how solid our defense has been playing, how good our offensive line has been playing as well, considering that, you know, Andrew Thomas nor Matt Parrott let up a single sack against Washington, who in my opinion has a better defensive front than the Philadelphia Eagles. I think that the Giants can do it. Call me crazy. I think that the Giants can win this game. It's I wouldn't be shocked if we lost this game. It would definitely be a heartbreaker considering that this, you can make an argument, is the most important game that we have played this season so far. But I do think that the Giants can do it. I believe in this team. I think that they will fight to the end. I think that they're going to come and prove a point. I don't think that there will be a sweep under Joe Judge. I just don't see it happening. I think that this team can do it. Let me know what you guys think below. 24-17, marketing your books. The Giants will win this game. They will be 3-7 going into the bye. This is Brooklyn Hit Squad. I'll see y'all in the next video.